the Seattle Seahawks throw on the throwback uniforms and win in throwback style. Welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Sports Show, Seahawks post-game show. I'm your host, Mikey, and we got one heck of a game to talk about today. Wow, it was fun. It was stressful. It was one of those up and down games, like I said. Um, it was really um it was really throwback style game, a way that you expect, you know, Seahawks uh team from 10 years ago to be winning games, right? And that sure does make for a fun watch, and that's what that game was today. It was fun. I mean, as up and down and stressful as it was at time, it was still a lot of fun. Again, let's go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you my breakdown of what happened in the game. Uh, Again, we'll go offense and defense first by the half. And offensively in the first half, on our first drive, hey, we looked good. It was looking good. I mean, we were moving the ball. We were being efficient on third down, converting on third down right out the gate, which was good to see. We saw K9 find a big hole and burst for like a huge gain on that first drive. Again, another third down conversion happened on this drive in the red zone, of course, to Lockett, and that was the second third down conversion on a pass to Lockett, by the way, on this drive. And then, of course, what would you do? You're using Bobo to go in motion to get a running head start to throw blocks on running plays all the time. How about give it to him on one of these sweeps, one of these times? And they sure did that, and it was an amazing play, right? Because again, yeah, I mean the defense, they've seen this a couple times. Sometimes Seahawks play calling can be predictable, and maybe that, when they finally do surprise a team, that plays into the Seahawks hands, because teams are actually surprised, because they run this play here where Bobo goes in motion, where he would normally be again beginning that head start to throw a block. Well, they hand the ball to him. He reads the ball, or he reads the blocks and the play beautifully. He stops, hesitates, sees that he doesn't need to keep going to the outside, and that the way the blocks are, he can cut it inside. He does so. Boom, gets a touchdown. I mean, he was looking like a good running back out there on that running play. He read the blocks, used his vision, and got upfield. It was nice to see. And then our second drive, Lockett kept making plays. We got down to the red zone again, 3rd and goal. Again, throwback style, right? This is something you would see Russell Wilson doing 10 years ago. Well, what do we get in this play? We get Geno. He's got players at his feet, defenders at his feet. He's moving in the pocket. He's jumping up and avoiding a tackle, and then moving on the run. Finds Lockett in the end zone for a touchdown. Great second drive. All right. Our third drive, we're still moving the ball pretty efficiently. And then we had a huge pass from Geno to Metcalf deep down the field couldn't quite get it in the end zone on this drive, and we settled for a field goal. The next time we got the ball, on our fourth drive of the first half, quick, easy 3-and-out. The Browns defense, they were finally able to play some tighter coverage on that drive, and we didn't get it done, so we had to punt. On the fifth drive, Lockett just continuing to dominate. Unfortunately, on this drive, the refs get involved to call illegal hands to the face, and that brings back a first down play that we would have had. And basically the refs helped the Browns get another 3-and-out on this drive. And the refs were, they were pretty crummy all day long. On our last drive of the half, we're moving the ball down the field beautifully, and then Geno throws an interception. Yeah, again, sure would have been nice to get some more points before the half. And there was times like that where Geno just didn't have it today. For as good as those first two drives of the game looked, there was some real shaky stuff that Geno was doing today. We can get more into that as we get to those plays. So that was the offense in the first half. Let's look at the defense first half. Okay, defensively, wow. Started the game out quick 3-and-out, stopping them easily on 3rd and 2 running attempt. Again, our run defense is just so amazing this year. On our second drive, or I guess I should say Brown's second drive, Cooper just made an amazing grab to convert on 3rd and short. What can you do there? I mean, just an amazing player making an amazing play. But you know what? Seahawks got a strip sack fumble on the very next play. Jordan Brooks got in there, gets a sack, strips the ball, fumbles, and we recover, and we got that ball back, baby. On the Browns' third drive, they gave up a couple. They didn't. The Seahawks gave up a couple big screen plays there, and the Browns figured out that it worked and that it could keep working if they kept going to it, and they just kept running screenplays down the field until they scored a touchdown on a screenplay. On their fourth drive of the game, we just couldn't get any pressure, and Cooper was getting open on 3rd downs, and they were moving down the field, and then Woolen, our boy Woolen, gets the interception in the red zone, and it was close. I wasn't sure which way it was going to be called. He intercepted the ball, goes down to the ground, and then Njoku comes over and swipes at him, hits the ball comes out, and it looked like maybe he fumbled it, and then Njoku recovered, and then the Browns were going to just get the ball right back after this interception. Thankfully, it was just called interception and down by contact on the field, I believe. And I believe that's what it was called on the field, because they went to commercial break, and then when they came back, it was Seahawks ball. And we didn't see them review it and make the explanation. So maybe they said it on the broadcast. I just didn't, and I missed it, but I think that's what happened, is that they called on field as down by contact, and they didn't overturn it, so it ended up working out well for us, because again, like I said, it was close. On the next drive that the Browns had, they got desperate to start moving the ball, because they are trying to trick play. Did you see that play there that they tried, where it was like, not a flea flicker, and it wasn't like one of those end around uh, screen passes that they uh, keep throwing. They would normally have the guy doing the end around go, like they toss it to him once and then he throws it back to the quarterback and then it gets thrown down the field. No, they had the one guy do the end around. He takes the ball and then he laterals it to somebody, and then it got lateraled again, and then and then they're gonna try to go for a pass. So, like they were doing all kinds of stuff on this single play to try just to start trying to move the ball, but they totally failed on that play. And then they go for it on fourth down. We get the stop, and the refs totally bail them out on like the worst pass interference call that I've seen. It was like this year. It was ridiculous. Okay, I don't know what the refs were doing in this game, but they kept getting worse and worse throughout it. Um, they bailed them out here. Should have been a turnover on downs, on a bogus pass interference call where there's like no contact basically. The refs then, uh, I don't get it. Are we playing football or not? Because then we get this beautiful hit on PJ Walker, right? Now it's escaping my mind who got the hit on PJ Walker, but it was like perfectly timed. PJ Walker is like still in the windup of his throw as our defensive lineman is getting to him and is already lunging at him. The ball gets out before he's sacked, but the defender getting there in time obviously affected the throwing because it was in time. It was not late at all. And the lineman did not like drive him to the ground. You could see that he ran into him and he got pushed down. But there was nothing like overly aggressive against the quarterback. But the refs bail him out again and call roughing the passer. And then, of course, the Browns get a touchdown on this drive. How could they not? The refs gifted them multiple chances on this drive to get into the end zone. I mean, if they wouldn't have gotten into the end zone, that would have been just like a huge failure on the Browns because the refs were, acting like, we haven't even hit Halloween yet, and they're giving Browns Christmas gifts early. I mean, just gift wrapping a touchdown for him, making just horrible calls on this drive. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Anyways, they ended up getting a touchdown on that drive, of course, and then the next drive, Boye Mafe, he's not going to have any more refs getting in the way. He gets to Walker on third down, makes the sack, and of course that forces a punt. And then, the next time they got the ball, there was hardly any time, so they just knelt it down and to send us into the half. So that was the first half of the game. Both offense and defense looked pretty amazing in this first half. I was like very pleased with everything that the teams were doing. I mean, there was that one really bad Geno interception, but overall it was feeling like, okay, this is going well. The offense is looking good, the defense is looking good, the team's looking good in the throwbacks, like everything's looking good. And then we get to the second half, so let's talk about the second half. We'll go with offense in the first to start in the second half as well. Okay, so first, when we're on offense, our first drive, Browns cover well. We can't move the ball. We're not able to convert on a third and short. Again, this was like a 3rd down and 2. And again, it was only the first drive of the second half. But just already on, again, it was just another situation where I'm looking at the play calling on, situations where it's 3rd and short. And obviously in situations where we're on goal to go. I mean, these situations, I just don't. I'm not understanding the play calling that we are going with in these situations. It's making it look like the play calling itself is going to be making it hard to get the first down. So let's come on, Waldron. Let's clean this up. Let's be a little bit more creative. Let's get some plays out here that don't have to be working the players down the field so much to pick when we're just needing to pick up short yardage. Okay. Second drive of the second half, Gino just made another questionable throw. It's tipped and picked off. He just didn't see the dropping defensive lineman there. I guess he just, you know, what can you say? I mean, really, the Browns defender did well to hide and what he was doing there. That he wasn't actually rushing and then dropped back to play in coverage, but still it was a questionable throw anyways. And yeah, Gino just got tricked on that one, and it led to an interception. On our third drive, Gino, I think maybe he's getting rattled by this, even though the offensive line did a really good job of blocking in this game in pass protection. I think the coverage of the defense just was starting to confuse Gino a little bit. Like I said, after that other interception there. So maybe he's panicking a little bit. He started to get like horribly off target and almost threw another pick, and that one would have been gone for that would have been a pick six. So he's lucky that that pass didn't get picked off there. It was like almost lucky that we got to punt on the next play, because that would have been real bad if the defender would have picked that one off. On the fourth drive, Charbonnet gets in the game. He gets the job done on third and short. Finally, to convert on a third down in the second half. Again, we're 4 drives in and just finally converting on third down. And then on the next play, Charbonnet made himself available as a target on a good outlet pass to gain a good chunk of yards. And then Charbonnet gets a big 20-yard run. And unfortunately, with some just poor passing from Gino again, we stall down there in the red zone, and don't come away with anything more than a field goal, right? So still need to be getting better there as well. Then on our next drive, our fifth drive of the second half, Lockett and DK both starting off the drive with clutch catches. Noah Fant, big yards after catch, gets down to the 15. Gino making another horrible dumb throw to the end zone that again thankfully was not intercepted, hits the ground. Again, that would have been that could have been like a game over situation, but thankfully it wasn't, and the ball hit the ground. And then the Browns had 13 men on the field the next play, and it gave Seahawks 5 more yards to get a little bit closer to the end zone still. And then the next play is a bubble screen to JSN for a touchdown. We had another a screen that we had earlier in the game to JSN that was a good gain. This nice little bubble screen that they played here. He read the defender perfectly, got to the outside, and used the great block by DK to get himself into the end zone. We take the lead, and boy, oh boy, we kept it. The next thing we got the ball was, after we stopped them on defense again, and we went into victory formation. All right, so that was a good way to end the game. Let's go ahead and talk about what the defense did on the second half to make this happen. Okay, so in the second half, first drive, the screens they were continuing to kill the defense. Coverage was breaking down a few times. We were able to tighten up once the Browns got down into the red zone and forced the field goal. On the second drive, the defense was holding, was finally starting to hold up uh, after the Geno interception and Trey Brown, big play Trey. He had a big pass breakup on a third down and forced a field goal there. On the third drive for the Browns, the pressure's not getting. They weren't getting to PJ Walker in time, and just luckily for us, it wasn't because of pressure because he didn't have much pressure on him. But I liked watching him when he was in the XFL. I watched the XFL myself, and I watched the version of the XFL from 3 years ago, the one that PJ Walker was in and was like going to be the MVP of if it wasn't for the pandemic closing thing down. Like he was like off the charts good in the XFL, right? And but he's not even then he's still not the accurate passer, right? So even though he had good clean pocket here, he's making bad passes, and luckily for us, that led to a punt. Just because he's missing his targets. On their fourth drive, they're starting to move the ball. And again, looks like we got to stop. But the refs helped the Browns again, and apparently there was illegal use of hands. They showed again that was one that they showed where, I guess, the and again I can't remember who it was on now, of course, but whoever our corner was, was trying to jam the defender or jam the receiver, and maybe got a piece of the face mask, I guess. But I don't know. There was so much like ticky tacky stuff that was going against the Seahawks in this game, and not much going against the Browns that were, they were doing worse. That it was frustrating to watch. Um, but yeah, this it, thankfully did not kill us, even though the refs are still trying to give Browns with more stuff. Because again, just PJ Walker, okay, not the greatest, and you know we're not getting to him. So we decide we got to bring some more pressure. We send Jamal Adams. He's the blitzing safety. He's coming in to get pressure. PJ Walker, though, he's, his line is setting a pocket for him. Doesn't matter. Jamal Adams, he's athletic. He jumps up in the air, and the pass hits Adams in the helmet. It deflects way up in the air. There's a scramble. You could see the Browns receivers, like, they lost track of the ball. They're like looking down the field. They looking up, looking around, like going, "Where'd the ball go?" That's okay, because the Seahawks, they got their eyes on it, and then Julian Love comes up with the interception at about midfield, and that was the interception that set up for our drive to take the lead at the end of the game here. And then, with the last little bit of time left that the Browns had, again, PJ Walker just making a horrible throw. a pass that was basically right to Woolen. I still, for the life of me, do not know how he missed that interception because he's got such good hands for a corner. Maybe he just wasn't expecting it to be thrown so directly at him with not a receiver even close to him, that he just it caught him by surprise. I don't know, but he missed that interception. And then Darrell Taylor got a huge sack on third down, coming up big again. That's huge because we know with Nuosu having season-ending surgery, we needed to see players step up this game, and they did. Again, Derek Hall was in there some today, was looking good. Obviously, Jordan Brooks was looking good today. Mafe was looking good. And players that needed to step in for Nuosu, like Darrell Taylor, it stepped up big today. Got that sack on third down. It goes to fourth down. Great pass coverage on the next play by Witherspoon. Doesn't allow a catch that is to a receiver that he's covering. That ends the game because that's when we got the ball back and got into victory formation. So, a good. We gave up a little bit here in the second half. Some of these situations were created by, some poor play from the offense and Gino, but overall, when you look at what the defense did in the second half, it was pretty good. That was the game. To me, I think the story of the game was the offensive line doing its job of protecting Gino most of the game. He only was sacked once, okay? And remember, this is the #1 pass rush defense that we're going up against, and that's it. We only allowed one sack, a couple of pressures and hits besides that, and that was it. And remember, we're still down 2 starting linemen. We had a 41-year-old Jason Peters playing today, rotating in and out at tackle. It was an amazing performance by this offensive line. That, again, to me is another, great improvement that we see over last year. Now, a lot of people think that the offensive line was, I guess I'm just thinking about how stupidly Pro Football Focus ranked them. So I don't know if it's really a lot of people or if it's just them. But they had Seahawks ranked last year going into the season, last for offensive line, and then we ranked somewhere in the mid-20s, which again, both of those made no sense to me. And then this year they started us out ranked somewhere in the mid-20s. I don't really use them, so I don't even know what they have us ranked now. It always comes across my social media, so that's how I always see with this stuff that they're doing. That doesn't make any sense. But even with that, I thought we had, we were somewhere, I wouldn't agree anything with Pro Football Focus with the way they had our offensive line graded. I would have said, it would have been somewhere middle of the pack, somewhere in the teens, right? But this year you could say it's even better than that. So it has been another big improvement. I mean, and that's where you win the games, right? In the trenches, offensive line, defensive line, and they're both playing big this year. Especially that offensive line, you have to give credit to with us, basically all year long, not having Even, you know what, not basically, literally all year long, we have not had all five starting linemen on the field at any time, and we've rotated so many players so many different ways on the offensive line this year. It's just amazing that they are doing what they are doing at this point. Okay, let's take a quick look into uh the stats of this game. We kind of went over what happened, got the story of the game. We let's take a closer look and look at the stats that tell us the details of what happened in this game. Right. So again, if we're gonna look at it, for Gino, 23 completions on 37 attempts, 254 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Just sacked the one time. Um, uh, a rating of 78. Just not his best day. Again, the interceptions that he threw, they were bad, 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 bad. Just don't know what he was seeing. One of them, he didn't see the defenders, so just didn't recognize what was going to be happening in that coverage. So just not good. Overall, again, we have to celebrate the win. We have to celebrate the win because in the NFL, a win is hard. It's not easy to get a win. Uh, but, just thinking of what we're doing down the future, if we're going to, I mean, right now, everybody, we are in second place overall in the NFC. Yes, the San Francisco 49ers are continuing to slide down with Purdy. Because we know Purdy was never that good in the first place. He just had a lot of playmakers around him. He's had 3 chances in his career now in the fourth quarter to make a comeback and win a game, and he's failed 3 times in a row now. So they are what they are. He is what he is. We always knew it, and it's starting to show now. So here we are, second place in the NFC, and the 49ers, they're still going to be tough competition though, and we're going to have to face them twice soon. And if we're going to beat a team that has a defense like the 49ers have, because we faced the Browns once here, and it's okay to get away with it once against the Browns, but we're getting ready to go on like a 4 or 5 game stretch where we're going to be facing like all of like the top defenses. Like I think like the next 4 weeks, well, I guess we just defeated the Browns, so I think we still got like 3 more weeks of this, or maybe it's 4. But anyways, we got like all defenses who are ranked 8 or higher. Okay, that's like the lowest ranked defense that we're going against is number 8. So Gino's going to have to play better than this if we're going to be winning and really contending to win this division. Which if you've been listening to the show, I've always thought that this team has the talent to be able to win this division. Gino's got to take advantage of that. He's got to be smart with the ball so that we can do that. We are on pace for the wins, the 12 wins I said I felt like would be possible for us. So Gino's got to be smarter with the ball so we can make that happen. And that's how you're going to win games in the playoffs and get yourself into a Super Bowl, is being smart with the ball. You got to make better reads. You got to, when the play's not there, don't try to be Brett Favre. Be smart with the ball. Get rid of it. Rushing. Again, the play calling, right? It was just, I don't know why we didn't have more rushing. Oh, K9 8 carries, 66 yards. Yeah, the long was 45 yards. You take that out, and the average comes way down. But he did have the 45-yard long run. Charbonnet had 5 for 53. He did have a 21-yard run, and I felt like going into this game, I didn't get to record a regular episode of the show this week and kind of give my preview of this game, but I felt like you could potentially run on Cleveland, like the same way that I talked about with uh with the Detroit Lions and how that worked out for us. I, I felt like Cleveland, same thing. They're just for the weapons that we have and the style of defense that they run, there was opportunities for, again, somebody, especially like the type of runner that K9 is, that there would be plenty of opportunities for him to get big time plays like that 45-yard run. But I don't know. I guess the pass protection was holding up well, so well, in fact, that they kept deciding to go to the pass. But I felt like they could have run the ball a lot more in this game, and maybe wore down that Cleveland defense a little bit more and get some more, some time of possession as well, because we'll go over that in a second. We hardly had any there. But yeah, that was basically our rushing. Obviously, Bobo had that 3-yard run for the touchdown, so you got to mention that, right? Receiving wise, Lockett 8 receptions for 81 yards, a touchdown, 9 targets on the day. He had that throwback uniform on, not one that he wore, but back in the day. But he was looking like a throwback Tyler Lockett as well, just looking like his old self and getting the job done when we needed him to. DK Metcalf had 5 receptions today for 67 yards. Again, through that beautiful block at the end of the game to get JSN into the end zone. JSN, he had the 3 catches for 36 yards and that touchdown. Noah Fant, 2 receptions, 32 yards, that 27-yarder. Oh my gosh, that was a big one. Again, yards after catch for Noah Fant. He's done it a couple times this year. It's fun to watch. Bobo, 2 receptions, 23 yards. You know what? And I noticed this week, another week where we get JSN and Bobo both finding ways to score touchdowns, and we win again. More Bobo, more JSN. Come on, I love to see it. Rookie's getting the job done. Let's see here. Let's see. Defensively, Bobby Wagner. Who else is going to be leading the team with tackles? 13 total, 3 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, pass deflected. Jordan Brooks again, getting ready to be, the future of this team for the linebackers. 10 tackles a day, 4 solo, a sack, 2 QB hits in total. Quandre Diggs, 9 tackles a day, 5 solo. Jamal Adams, 8 tackles with 5 solo, a tackle for a loss, and obviously that pass deflected off the helmet. Him jumping, 3 feet in the air to hit that ball with his head, soccer style. I saw that. The Sounders, who are playing a playoff game on Monday, by the way. Sounders were basically getting ready to recruit Jamal Adams because that header was so good. Mafe, 8 tackles, 3 solo, a sack, a tackle for loss, 4 QB hits. Mafe, I don't know if you guys know this, but he is, again, if you're looking at advanced analytics, this is kind of stuff that I come across. Boye Mafe is winning. He's like the winning the most one-on-one pass rush situations this year. I mean, he is balling out of his mind. He is just winning so much this year on pass rush. Uh, if you look at the charts, he's not getting doubled a lot yet, but teams are going to start doubling him because if you, with teams are going to be figuring out, I would think by now, because we're about halfway through the season, teams are going to have to start figuring out that Mafe, he just wins, against single coverage. Right now, he's not getting doubled. Hopefully, maybe teams will just continue to not see that, and Mafe can just continue to do what he's been doing this year. In when people are trying to block him one-on-one, because he is killing them out there. Daryl Taylor coming up big. We got to mention it. The 3 tackles, a sack, tackle for loss, another QB hit, and you know what? I want to throw another rookie out there. Derek Hall, 4 tackles today, 2 solo. Again, another player. Because Derek Hall, Daryl Taylor, like I said, they're players that needed to step up with Nuoso going down. So that it was great to see that actually happen. We should mention Draymond Jones as well, because he was a big free agent coming in here. 2 total sack. I mean 2 tackles, both solo, a tackle for loss, 3 QB hits, which was huge. He was coming up big towards the end of the game, getting pressure on PJ Walker and making it tough for him to throw. So again, just showing that it was really worth bringing him in. He's real. Again, we had where he didn't look like he showed up too much in that first game or two, but since then he's been obviously a great addition to this team. Interception, obviously Reek Woolen had one, and then Julian Love had that interception that was a great header pass from Jamal Adams there at the end of the game. DS Rich got in there once for a kick return. We saw them try to do, again, I don't remember if it was even like if it was a sweep or what it was. I just remember they tried to get the ball to DS Rich one other time in the game, and you know what? We got Metcalf, we got Lockett, we got JSM, we got Bobo now. I'm about done with the guy. He was suspended the first 6 games. Didn't miss him. He got back in this game. It didn't really seem like it made a difference to have him in the game. So I don't need to see them try to feed him anymore. Let's keep it with the core group that we had out there. DJ Dallas just had another good day. Out there as a punt returner mostly, and Jason Myers 1 for 1 field goal. Dixon, we all know he's a great punter, so he did his stuff out there. Let's look at the Browns. All right, we were able to hold PJ Walker, 15 completions on 31 attempts, 248 yards. He had the touchdown, but we got him intercepted twice. We sacked him 3 times. Held him to a 59.6 rating. Kareem Hunt, 14 carries for 55 yards. That's a 3.9 average. He did get a touchdown. Pierre Strong Jr. had 10 carries for 41 yards. Forward, 9 carries for 37. So they were really spreading it around, right? PJ Walker had 6 carries for 27 yards himself, and they got 155 yards on the ground today. Now, again, I mean, that sounds like they did good, but remember, sometimes I've explained this to people, that sometimes the offense can really hurt your defense. If Gino wasn't turning that ball over when he was, then you're not looking at Cleveland getting that many attempts, right? So, really, to hold Cleveland to just basically 155 yards on the ground was really good for the defense, especially given the situations that they were given. Uh, Receiving wise, Cooper, he had his day. 6 receptions, 89 yards. Like I said, there was a few times where we did give Walker too much time in the pocket, and Cooper did a good job of getting himself open in those situations and getting some, big, big receptions down the field on those situations. Njoku, 4 receptions for 77 yards. Again, just the tight end screen passes that they were running at him were just killing us. They were killing us. We could not stop that play. I saw Pete Carroll talk about it in the post game interview that they were preparing all week for these screens, and he just felt like they were prepared. They had the right play calls, but the Browns were just out executing them on those plays, and I guess that's just how good the Browns are at running those plays. Hopefully, if we come across something like this again, we can be even more prepared to stop this kind of stuff. Because again, we're going to see teams use this against the Seahawks, and we're going to see teams that like to use this kind of stuff anyways in the coming weeks. So we really got to lock it down on how to stop these plays. Uh, you know, again, forced to fumble on Walker that we got, and then we don't really need to go over their defense or anything. So there we go. That was stats for our players and what we held them to. It looked it looked like a good game out there in the first half for us, especially. Second half was kind of rough, but we got the job done. Let's take a look at the team stats in general, because again, we got to mention, with Gino making those turnovers, that's giving Cleveland the ball. You're not keeping your team on time. You are handing the ball over and losing time. And listen to this. The Browns had the ball for 36 minutes and 40 seconds to our 23 minutes and 20 seconds. They basically had the ball possession wise for a full quarter more than what we had, and we were still able to pick up the win. So that's I guess that's a good sign of how well our defense played today. Yes, they had the ball for 36 and 40 seconds. Yes, they were moving the ball, but our offense put our defense in some bad situations and turned the ball over quickly, or just got out of 3 and outs quickly a couple of times and did not possess the ball. So good on our defense to hold the Browns to just 20 points, so that we had the ability to win the game still with just 23 minutes and 20 seconds of possession. We had 362 yards in total to Cleveland's 385. We turned it over twice. We did get 17 first downs. Okay, so let's look at this again now. Third down efficiency, 6. Oh no, sorry, I was looking at the Browns. We were 4 for 12. 4 for 12 on third down. We got to start getting this number up. We got to start calling more. We need some more creative plays on third down. I don't want to see sprint outs. I don't want to see on third and twos where every receiver is going deep down the field. You're not surprising anybody anymore with that. The teams know that the Seahawks like to do that. So surprise some teams by running some short routes over the middle where you could get an easy completion for that 2 or 3 yards if you really want to throw a pass on 3rd and short that bad. Like, come on. Come on, we got to do better than this. 4-12 is not good enough. Again, that's not the kind of efficiency that's going to get you wins come playoff time. So let's shore that up. And I mean, we're going to be playing some playoff style football over the next 4 weeks. Like I said, we just had the Browns, and then our all our upcoming opponents are going to be tough as well. So we gotta we really gotta fix that. We had 55 placed to their 75. Again, that's just the product of turning the ball over early and going 3-and-out early. Let's see. What else? Let's look at the red zone. Okay, at least red zone improved this week. We got to the red zone 5 times, and we scored 3. So that's good. 3 out of 5. That ain't bad. At least we're getting into the red zone and scoring most of the time that we get down there. We want to see that continue. Penalties today, 7 for 43, and there was just like some crap calls by the refs. So what are you gonna do? We didn't have any headache plays from DK like everybody was worried about and saying that we should trade DK away for, with all that ridiculous talk. None of that today. Just great play, great blocking, great competitiveness from DK today. Just some but the penalties that we did have, I felt a majority of them were just like some bad calls from the ref. Turned it over twice. We don't want to see that happen too often, obviously. And that was the team stats, and just another great game to watch as a fan. So much fun. Again, yes, it was stressful, especially since it came down to the end with us needing to one, we were going to have to stop them on defense to make sure we had another chance. We did. We got that great header from Jamal Adams for the interception, and then we knew that we needed to score there to get the win here. And they moved the ball down the field, and we got it done. And you gotta love that. You gotta love when your team is getting 4th-quarter comebacks. That you can't complain about that. All right, so this is another great win, 24-20. And again, we got some tough opponents coming up. So be be ready for some more. I'm guessing exciting but stressful games to be watching. We got again, top defenses. We got the Ravens coming up. Then we're going then we have Washington. Then the Rams again, and we know we lost to them already. They're playing tough this year, even though they're just 3-5. They're playing tough. Then finally, we're getting to the 49ers on Thanksgiving, and they're on the 3-game slide right now, but they're obviously still got all that talent on their team. Then we got to go to Dallas. and then we go to San Francisco. So that's really, uh, you know what? And then we have the Eagles at home. So really, uh, including this week, it's 8 weeks in a row. So the next and so the next 7 weeks, we still got some like top teams, top defenses in the NFL that we're going against. This is going to be a test. We passed test number 1. We got 7 more tests to go. So this is going to be some fun uh, times here the next 7 weeks, because it's going to be, I'm expecting to see a lot more games like we had today. I'm not expecting to see the Seahawks blow any of these teams away, and I'm not expecting the Seahawks to get blown away by any of these teams. Of course, anything could happen. That it could happen, and I wouldn't be surprised either way, because it's going to be a lot of good competition over the next 7 weeks. But I think the talent that the Seahawks have, they're going to match up well with everybody, and no, all those teams have talents as well. So it's going to be hard fought games, and it's going to be fun to watch. Okay, so be ready as a fan. All right, that's going to be the episode for today. I had fun today. Did you have fun today watching the Seahawks wear those great throwback uniforms, getting a great throwback style win, like we would have seen 10 years ago? Let me know about that. What did you think of Gino's play today? What did you think of the play calling today in general? For the offense, to me, I thought the defensive play calling was just fine. But I want to know how do you feel about the offensive play calling at this point? Okay, so let me know all of that, and leave a comment in the YouTube comments. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on the podcast, if you're one of the podcast listeners, please hit the follow button or the subscribe button, whatever you need to hit, whatever podcast platform you're on. I greatly appreciate that. And then, the other great thing you can do, of course, is to tell a friend about the show and help grow this community. I do have a Discord channel set up. The link is in the description. If you want to join that, copy and paste it. I would love to get you guys in there and celebrate all these wins that the Seahawks are getting, and be there in the losses if we get any. And we know we're going to be talking all Seattle sports in there. Like I just mentioned, the Sounders are starting their best of 3 playoff series in round 1 here. So we're going to be, if we get people in there, we're going to be talking about that. So get on in there. All right. Again, I'm Mikey. Thank you for listening to the Seattle Sports Show, where we watch legends awaken and breathe fire. So take cover, because with a sea of sound, you will see us rise to reign supreme and win forever.